a battle ahead. Many battles are lost, but you never see the end of the road while you're traveling with me. Hey now, don't dream it.
All right, here we are at the Outback Motor Speedway, first night of the Dream, sponsored by Ernie Davis, Ernie D's Enterprise, and he's the promoter of Hagerstown Speedway, so we got to mention that too. Been a long night of racing. We've went through heats, time trials, into four preliminary heat races, into 2 qualifying heat races. So 2 people will be qualified tonight. This is the first one that got qualified, Trevor Feathers. What do you think? Track started off a little bit slippery, but I think it come around pretty good. Y'all had pretty good races. How you feel like your car is going in tomorrow?
It's okay. We got a little bit of work to do. Good to be back here. It's been a while. The past 2 weeks have been rough. If there's a wreck that I've been in, I've caused a couple myself, and it's just been a bad 2 weeks. But hopefully we can get it turned around. Got to run that All-Star race. That really helped me out getting to run Dad's car again and winning with it. That's 2 years in a row. And he'd been complaining all night, oh, this thing's terrible, this thing's terrible. I said, let me go out there and win in that car. Then I did. He went running out the door real quick.
Well, we'll rib him tomorrow about it. But, yeah, you know, I got some thinking here to do, because I know you know from you and Brent now are the only 2 that are qualified, and so you're going to be sitting a long time tomorrow. So I'm going to try to find a couple multiple times to get you all in there as the track's changing, so y'all can keep up with it, because I almost think that was a disadvantage for a couple of years. So we'll work on that. So anyhow, you just mentioned you got ahead of me that you won the All-Star race. So here I want to give you that. You get your entry fee back, you get a mini door and a Clint Boyer hat, all thanks to ASI Racewear. So got to thank them for coming on here too. And we had these dashes for shirts and give away some shirts and all. So anyhow, you're a defending Dream winner. We haven't had a repeat. So I'm sure you think you're confident. What do you think your chances are?
I don't know. I barely beat Allen to make it in the race. It does feel good to not have any pressure going into tonight, into tomorrow. But like you were saying, last year I did the same thing. I ended up winning the preliminary heat on Friday night, and I don't think I got to practice until like 5 minutes before the feature. So I was like, man, I hope my car is good. And last year it rolled right out of the case and was perfect. So I'm hoping to repeat. I mean, that's all I can say. You know,
everybody's fast. I mean, it's going to be a toss-up this year. At this time last year, you pretty much had everybody covered. It's not been like this year. Not that you all are authentic, but there's people who have caught you, and we're having you won. You still probably got the most wins so far this year, but you know yourself, it's not winning like you was. You was cruising in the last segment. Now you're running her hard. So.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes down to is last year, you know, everybody in here saw my lap times. You know, I was running exceptionally well lap times on just about every lane, and through the off season they worked, and when they come out this year, they were a little slow. First 2 races, I was able to kind of win by a few laps. And then we come in here the 3rd and 4th race, and it was like, you know, they were on me. They were running the same lap times. The past 2 weeks, one little mistake, you know, one wreck, I got into it with Dad and missed the lap counter, and it really blew me out of the race. I knew when I lost that lap that I had to run way harder than I should have, and when I started doing that, I started making more mistakes, and I ended up running 7th. So it's tough, you know. It's no cakewalk like it was last year. You know, last year I kind of come in here, and if I had a smooth night, I knew I was going to run good inside the top 3 or 4, and last year it just turned into wins most of the time. But it's not the same this year. You know, last week was our worst finish in over 2 years, so it kind of opened my eyes. And Uncle Jimmy, you know, I was texting when I left, and it was I was trying to call a little bit of shots like, hey, I'm a little loose, we need to do this, and I'm done. I show up, I'll race. Let him do the work. He's smart with them. He knows what to do with them. That's what I need to start doing again.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. I was going to announce it tomorrow, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you now that going to be a little twist to the Dream race tomorrow, although I've already announced it's going to be 3 segments. But I've decided, it's happened a couple times, this is a tough way to get in on this one night. You're racing everybody, 32 people here, and you're the only 2. So we're taking 6 and 8 out of the pill draw tomorrow. And you and Brent are not going to have a chance to get on 6 or 8. So you're either going to be 1 to 7, but you're not going to be 6 or 8. I feel like that's the 2 worst lanes to start the race with. I feel like it's only natural that you all should get something extra for having to sit out all night or all day tomorrow, and be in the top 2 after the first night. So that's what we're going to do.
And that's awesome. You know, we worked really hard tonight. Me, Uncle Jimmy, and Brent, and everybody else in here. You know, you go out, try to do real good in time trials, try to win your heat race, try to get a good lane for your preliminary, and we were able to do that and able to win. And you got to put the whole night together. You know, Uncle Jimmy timed real good. He run good in his heat race and missed it a little bit in the preliminary, and now he's got to come into tomorrow hoping to make the show. And it's not easy. It's not easy. Last week I was in the B main and I run second to Uncle Jimmy, and I think I passed Randy with 3 to go. I mean, it's tough. It's no cakewalk, and I think that's a good deal, you know, and not just because I'm in that situation. I don't think they should be penalized. You know, they made one perfect night on the Friday night of a big race. So I think that's an awesome deal to do.
Well, I almost had to do it because I just felt like, just like you said, you're all going to be sitting out. People's going to be running that track. They're going to be knowing more what it's going to do. I'm going to try to give you all plenty of things, but still it's not going to be like running all night long. So, and it's special. It's happened a couple times. The first 2 guys picked the worst lanes, and I think it's almost penalized them. It's like it's not even being nothing to win to be the first 2 in. So we're going to do that. You're all going to be the first 2 picks. It's going to be easy. I'm just going to take 6 and 8 out. You're going to pick. Once you get done, we'll throw them back in. So, all right, well, we'll see you tomorrow, and congratulations.
Yeah, thanks to you, Denny, Deb, and everybody else. Brent, he's always in the backgrounds of these things. You know, he doesn't have a shirt on or anything, but I know he does a lot with the electrician or the wiring of the track. So, got to say thanks to everybody here. It's an awesome deal you guys got, and hopefully we can be here tomorrow, at least in the top 3. We'll just say top 3 for now.
All right, man. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now I'm towing my car. There's a hole in the roof. My position to cause a main suspicion, but there's no proof. And in the paper today, it tells of war and of ways, but you turn right over to the TV page.
All right, well, here we are back at Outback Motor Speedway for the first night of the Dream 2-day weekend, and again, got to thank Ernie Davis. Really came on and sponsored this and made it even bigger than what it's been. And I want to thank ASI also for giving us some shirts to give out. Had some dash for shirts, I should say. But here I'm not going to say here's second place. This is still first place. This is one of the second one that won the second qualifying race, Brent Hoddle. And I think you found the speed right when you needed it. You were struggling through the other preliminaries and then found it when you needed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a tough one. I tell you, the 32 people out here and the cars that are out here. Had that qualifying race I was in, I looked across there and I thought, oh my Lord, I think in that one was 6 A-main starters from this year in that thing. I mean, it's tough. The way my night started off, I was junk as soon as I unloaded. And I really don't understand why. Last week, I won. I kind of come off this high, had a second place and a win. I didn't really do anything setup-wise to my car, and I just cleaned it, oiled it, and did what I always usually do. And I couldn't time trial. I mean, my time trial speed was way off. My heat race, I got a little bit better, but it wasn't nothing. The dash was terrible, but I could bang my head up against the wall there, and I figured out how to turn the screws, so to speak, and I found the speed. I did. I definitely found the speed where I need. And I think last week was a help because I had to finish on lane 8 to win the race, and I had to finish on lane 8 again to hold the win for this one. So I tell you what, I've drove the real cars, and I've been nervous in them. I think I'm more nervous here than I ever been. I look up and I see Jimmy McFarland and Scott Merriman and Junior Cooper and all them guys is coming at you, and you're just a sitting duck and you got to run and run and run. But yeah, I found the speed, and hopefully I can keep it. I know I've run second in this Dream twice, and I'd love to get me a Dream. That's one of the big ones. I've been blessed enough to win some big races, and that's one that's on my bucket list, and I want it bad.
Well, I told Trevor we haven't had a repeat winner yet, and I'm trying to shake it up. So I told him, don't know if you heard, neither one of you all are going to get a chance to get on 6 or 8. We're pulling them out. You're all going to get your first pick, and we're going to stick them in for the rest of them. So you might get 2, you might get 4, but you're not going to get 6 or 8.
Oh, that's good news. That's good news for me because I've been lucky enough to be in this position already in a previous one where I made it in the night before, and I pulled like a lane 7 or 8 the next day for the Dream, and boy, I just stunk. But yeah, that's good news for me. So I'm gonna be pretty excited. It's gonna be a long night to sit around and wait, but I'm happy to be in this Dream. It's a it's a big race, and I definitely want to make this one, being that it's going to be that triple segment. I'm really interested to see how that works out. I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I want to thank everybody who helps put this on. And first and foremost, I want to thank Ernie Davis with Hagerstown Speedway and Ernie D's Enterprises. You know, he put up a lot to sponsor this race, and I hope everybody goes out and attends the races at his track come spring and summertime. I want to thank you for everything you do with this track, and Denny and Deb for all their hard work. I mean, people don't understand. I get to see how much work goes in this place. We spend all day trying to get everything prepped out here today. So, but yeah, I want to thank everybody for that. But I'll be excited. I'm gonna be thinking all day tomorrow. I know what I'm going to do to make sure that car is fast for the dream, and hope for the best.
All right, well, congratulations. 32 here, set a record. We knew he was going to do it. Might even have a couple stragglers shoot in here tomorrow to make it up over 32, but so far a good way to start it, and we'll carry it on and finish it tomorrow. So congratulations.
Thank you.